Hey guys, this is Michael from Nifty Nerd Games, and I would like to welcome you back to learning how to play Magic the Gathering. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys some more stuff, and I'm going to be teaching my roommate, Christian. Now, for today, we're going to be continuing off of what I taught you last week, and for this week, I have one deck, and Christian has one deck, and we're going to show you a few examples once we make sure we cover all the rules of this game. So to start out, going back to the basics, is we have the hand of 7. So let's go ahead and draw that 7 out. Now, before we actually start playing the game, I'm going to describe the turn order, which is all the different phases that you have for each turn. It starts out with the upkeep, which nothing happens. It's basically the start of the game. And then you have the untap step, which is where everything that you had tapped in the previous turn, from like attacking or tapping land to send something out, it untaps. And then after that you have the draw step, and for starting turn, first player to go, they don't draw a card, but all other turns after that they get to draw a card. So I'm going to just say I go first, so I won't draw a card this time. And now we go into main phase 1. And main phase 1 is where you could send out anything. You could play some lands, or you could cast your spells. So basically, starting turn, you play out a land, since that's basically all you can do for starting, unless you have a spell that's 1 mana cost, which is possible in Magic the Gathering. There's actual cards that are 0 cost as well. So that would be interesting to teach you guys. And then next, after the main phase 1, you go to the combat phase, which is where you would do all of your attacking. And then for going into detail of the combat phase, like I said last video, is we have the declare attacker step, and then the declare blocker step, and after that the damage calculation, and then combat phase ends. And then you go into main phase 2. And then main phase 2, you could do the same thing as main phase 1. You could minus the land part, since you're only allowed to play 1 land per turn. And then main phase 2, you could send out your spells, do whatever you want. And then after main phase 2, it goes to the end step. And if there's any cards that have abilities that last during your turn, they stop activating. And then it finishes your turn and then goes over to the next player. So now we're going to go ahead and get into the actual game. I have already done my turn, and next up is Christian.
Look, I got me a little island. Yay. Okay. I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing.
Do you have any creatures you could send out?
Not without a gajillion land.
Okay, it looks like that's going to be your turn. Now it's my turn, so since Christian couldn't do anything, I'm going to go ahead and go to my untap step, nothing untaps, and then my draw step, I drew a card. Okay, now main phase 1, play a land, and during every turn I'm not going to announce what phase it's in. I'm just doing it for the first 2 turns, so you guys get used to it. Now I'm still in main phase 1. I'm going to tap 2 land, and now since I'm tapping the land, you know that I'm going to send something out. So say you have a 1 cost card, the opponent has a 1 cost spell in their hand that they want to cast out, they can go ahead and tap their land to do that, but it doesn't. I don't think Christian has anything quite yet. So now I'm going to cast my spell, which is a 2-cost creature, named Hamlet Captain. 2 power, and 2 toughness. And he has the ability that when he ever attacks or blocks, other humans I control get +1/+1. And just to let you guys know that my deck over here is basically strictly humans with a hint of angels. So since I finished main phase 1, go ahead and go to the combat phase. And since I just sent this creature out, I can't attack with him this turn. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Stop the combat phase, go over to main phase 2. All my lands are tapped, so I can't do anything else. So I'm going to go ahead and end my turn, and then goes over to Christians.
Okay, so what happens? I draw first?
Yep.
Okay. Jeez. I can't do squat. Yeah, that is literally all I can do right now.
So now it's my turn. So I'm going to do my untap step. Draw. Okay. Now I'm going to just go ahead and play out the turn and let it go and see. It just, since you know all the steps and the order of the turn, I'm going to just go ahead and play everything out. I'm going to tap the land. Actually, never mind. Can't do anything. I'm going to go ahead and stop that phase, go to combat. For combat, when you declare an attack, we're going to tap the creature, and now you know that I'm going to be attacking with him. And since you don't have any creatures, the damage goes directly to you. So you're going to go ahead and take 2 damage from this. 2 damage, and now you go down to 38 life. And the life for this format is 40, like I said in last game, but all 60 card games, which I recommend you start with, will be 20 life, so the games would be a lot faster. And now I finish the combat. We still can't cast anything out, and I end my turn.
What I want to know is if you want them to start with a 60 card format, why on earth are you making me start with the not 60 card format? I can't do anything.
You end?
That's it.
Okay. Now it's my turn. Woohoo. Look at that. I could do something. Tapped up 2 land. And I'm going to play an enchantment aura. And this enchantments are equipped to the creatures, and this equipment gives equipped creature hexproof, and it allows it to not be able to be blocked by more than 1 creature. And in Magic, you can block with multiple creatures against 1. Say it's like a massive creature, and you want to destroy it with a whole bunch of small little creatures, you can go ahead and do that. And this one stops that from happening. And hexproof lets the ability. Hexproof is an ability that allows the creature to not be targeted specifically. Say a spell says target creature or destroy target creature. Anything that says the word target, it can no longer be affected by those spells. So now I do that, finish that. And I'm going to go ahead and attack for 2 again. And he goes down to 36. And I end my turn.
Okay. I'm getting nothing. My hand sucks.
Now to remind you guys, if you say have a horrible hand at the very beginning of the game and you don't like it, for this 100 card format, commander format, you are allowed to have a free mulligan. And a mulligan is where you toss your starting hand back into your library, shuffle your deck, and then you draw a hand of 7. But all other formats, you go start out with a 7, and each time you do a mulligan, you go down lose 1 card. So you start out with 7, do the mulligan, you go down to 6. Which it does this same thing for this format as well, but you get 1 free mulligan at the beginning of the game. And you also have a maximum hand size of 7, just to remind you guys. So if you ever have more than 7 cards in your hand, you have to discard cards at the end of your turn.
Oh, okay. I need to get rid of 1 line then.
Okay. So I can't send anything out. I'm going to go ahead and attack with my creature. Christian still has no creatures. And are you able to do anything? Are you able to?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take the damage away from his life. He's now at 34.
I have to get rid of that guy to draw a new card. Yeah. That does not help me. I really thought you said we weren't going to be playing an actual game.
Make sure your graveyard is face up. For the graveyard, you and your opponents can see it and go through it anytime if they want to. It's accessible to everybody. Now since you guys have seen a little bit of gameplay, that should be pretty easy for you to understand. And now, since I've taught Christian a few things, I hope that he uses some of his free time to try to study this game and try to understand it more. So next video that we do with him, he will actually be able to play the game without any questioning or without any troubles or very few troubles. And I'm going to take some extra time on myself to teach him a little bit more of the game. And one last thing is I'm going to show you guys, teach you guys more like the different abilities that come with creatures. Like I mentioned Hexproof, and I'm going to go over all the other ones as well. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to that and show you guys how to do that. I'm going to go ahead and just go through my cards real quick and try to get all the creatures that have different abilities that come with it. Let's see. So I could go ahead and teach you guys some of those. Let's see. It's 1, 2. There's no reason to count, so I'm going to stop it. Almost done through my deck. Okay, I think I've gotten all the cards in this deck, so I can give you guys a little idea on everything in all the cards that you could possibly see in a game like this and all the different types of abilities creatures can have. To start out, we have a creature called Dragon Hunter, and Dragon Hunter has an ability that says protection from dragons. So that basically means that this creature cannot be targeted, cannot be harmed by dragons, or if he were to attack a dragon, it doesn't do any damage to him. And same for blocking. So this is really good, especially if you're facing a person that has an infinite combo that goes off of dragons, this is a really good way to try to get around that. And you can block him and nothing happens to you. The next card is another creature card, which is all these cards I'm showing you are going to be creatures, and it has an ability called Scavenge. And Scavenge is different for each card. It all depends on what it says and everything, and it's different mana costs. But for Scavenge, you can exile this card from your graveyard and put a number of 1/1 counters equal to this card's power and toughness on a target creature. So you could exile, say this card is destroyed, you can go ahead and exile it, which means remove it from the game, and you put 1/1 counters, which are little things that boost up your creature's power and toughness by 1 each for each counter on it. And next one is Death Touch. And Death Touch should be pretty self-explanatory, but I'm going to go ahead and explain it to you. Death Touch is where any damage done to a creature instantly kills it. So, like I said, it's self-explanatory. So, say I were to attack with this creature and an opponent blocks with it. No matter the opponent's toughness, it's going to die no matter what. So it's basically a poisoned attack in a way. Another one is Formidable. Formidable is different for each creature that has it, but for this one, at the beginning of your combat, if you have total number of creatures equal total power of 8 or greater, this creature gets a special ability. Another one, this is, I lied about it being all creatures, but this one is a artifact equipment, a legendary artifact equipment, and it gives equipped creature Defender, which Defender means that it can only block, it can't declare an attack. So that's basically it for Defender, but this one also gives it another extra added ability, which gives other creatures, when you pay 2 mana and tap a creature that this is equipped to, the equipped creature, other creatures you control gain Trample, which is any leftover damage from combat that's dealt to a creature. That leftover damage goes to the life total. Normally it just fades away, but this one allows it to go ahead and flow over and go to the opponent's life total. And this also allows other creatures to get +X until end of turn, where X is this creature's power, which this is really good if you happen to have a really strong creature and you want to boost up all your creatures as well. Another one is Flash. Flash allows spells to be able to cast it at any time. And so it's basically like allows it to be an instant in a way. And also, another ability that comes with this creature is Lifelink. And Lifelink means that whenever it does damage to anything, or whenever it's blocking, it allows you to gain life equal to the attack or damage, just the attack of the creature. So say this creature is a 3/3, so it would, whenever this creature attacks and does damage or blocks and takes damage, it will always gain at least 3 life, unless somebody's spell takes away the power, which makes it could possibly go down to 0. Another one is Flying. And Flying means that whenever a creature tries to block it, it also has to have Flying. So, say you have an all-flying deck and you're facing a person who has like 1 or 2 flying, you would likely win because they can only block it if they have another flying. Another one is First Strike. And First Strike, it allows the creature to deal combat damage to another creature before the second creature does damage to him. So say he attacks and then the damage calculation is done. He does his damage calculation first before the other creature does its damage calculation. Normally it's done at the exact same time, but with First Strike you get that little extra boost. And that one has First Strike as well. Another one is Convoke, and Convoke allows you to tap your creatures to add extra mana to cast this creature. So say you have a really high cost like this one that's 7 cost, you can tap like 7 creatures or 5 creatures in 2 planes because you need at least 2 colors. You could tap those 5 creatures and you can send him out. And I believe I have gone over Vigilance, but if I haven't, I'm going to go ahead and explain it to you again. Vigilance allows your creature to not tap whenever it attacks. So normally when you attack, you tap it to declare the attack, but with Vigilance, you don't have to do that. So that allows you to block more, because whenever a creature is tapped, it cannot block anymore unless it's untapped. So that's one plus to Vigilance. That allows you to block after you attack, which makes it really good. So that's basically an introduction to the different card types for creatures and everything. And I hope you guys understand all this. And I'm going to go ahead and end this there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you give it a like, or if you really like these videos and you want to make sure that you get a notification when I post a new video, you should definitely subscribe to this channel, and that allows you to be notified whenever I do anything on this channel. So go ahead and give it a like and subscribe it. Maybe even if you don't really like it, but you're interested in the video, you should go ahead and subscribe, because subscribing is very important. So go ahead and do that. I hope you guys have a wonderful day or night wherever you live, and I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye.